whole lot. Giannis, Jason Tatum. Sometimes you show the stars walking in and it's somebody else. It was the stars walking in and then they put on their work clothes and went to work. Giannis, spectacular. And it was a little bit of everything in the bag as he had a career playoff high 17 in the first quarter. But Boston, they are not about to take a step back. Jason Tatum finds Marcus Smart. He hits the three. Celtics lead by 2. Tatum. All 3 of these, and the Celtics up 5. This was a rough stretch for Milwaukee, a great stretch for the Celtics as they built a 10-point lead. It's back to 6, late going in the first half. They're Smart off the glass with the left hand. He had 16 in the first half. Tatum had 18 in the first half, and the Celtics go into the break up 10. 11-point lead. Tatum. Can't let him have it. You'll pay. Then Tatum. Working around Grayson Allen. Another look at that spin move. Celtics could have been in a closeout situation had they just handled their business in the fourth quarter at home, but they didn't. So now they're having to work on the road, but they're ready to go to work. There's a steal from Jaylen Brown, the coast to coast. That's the 4th on Giannis. That is Tatum again. Just bully ball. Celtics up 11. Tatum again. Portis checking it. You can take those 3 with you. 30 through 3 quarters. Up a dozen heading to the 4th. Trying to lock down and put this one to bed. That's not going to be easy because that man, Giannis, unguardable. And the Bucks getting back into it. They're going to give you that. But Giannis has gotten so much better. Just a complete game. As good as anyone in the world. 4-point game. Speaking of, as good as anybody in the world, certainly you got to throw Tatum's name into the mix now because he's got everything working. Up 4, up 7. Spectacular. What a series this is. Back and forth. Whatever you want. Tatum's got it. 9-point lead. Giannis, is that a foul?
No.
They let it go. Don't reward the flop. And I don't care which way it is. I'm not rooting for either team. I just play basketball. And they play on. Tatum. What are you going to do? Just watch them marvel. The Celtics just aren't going to be caught tonight. Down the lane. Tatum. 3 the hard way. What a spectacular performance. Giannis had 44 and 20. An all-time performance. And he wasn't the leading scorer in the game because that man and the Celtics force a game 7. So again, monster night from a 2-time MVP and reigning champ with Jason Tatum, the star of the game. 46 ties, the second most by a Celtics player when facing elimination, tying Paul Pierce and falling one shy of a guy that never got as much love as he probably deserved. That's a man by the name of Sam Jones. Game 7, Sunday, 3:30, ABC. Tatum on what it took in this Game 6.
It just boils down to, it's 5-6 minutes left, and, this was our season on the line. So, just trying to do what it took.
It was a big-time performance. Our backs against the wall, too. Love to see, JT come out aggressive and, definitely a signature game for the Celtics and for Jason.
Good old Game 7. Beautiful. Never take it for granted. Enjoy the game. Go out there and try to play good basketball. Hopefully, we can put ourselves in a position to win. If we do so, great. If we don't, our effort is gonna always be there.
How fun are nights like tonight?
Oh, the best.
How good is this series?
I want that to be best of 25.
Yeah.
I could watch that every night all summer.
There you go. Now, it's funny. I'm sitting here right now having a flashback. It was like January. You and I were talking about Boston, sort of trying to figure out what are they doing? They're just kind of in mud. Is this what you guys want to be, right? Now look at who they are. Look at what Tatum is. He's taken his game to this level, and he's carrying the team with him confidence-wise. What has he done?
To me, he has just evolved as a guy that can beat you on every platform, and I think that's the one thing that was the final component was what he had early in this game. Let's take a little early, little late, because he did it both ways. And this is something that I don't think he could have done even 2 years ago, Scott. He's going to come off of this ball screen. I think old Jason Tatum a couple years ago would come off this, and he'd see this wall, and he probably would have either picked it up or maybe he veers out toward half court. Instead, watch what he does. He comes off, and now he's going to take this extra dribble because he knows he's got to get all the way into the teeth. And what happens while he's doing that, he draws so much attention. Take a look at Drew Holiday, right? He's watching all the action, and it's his perfect timed cut right here by Derek White, because when he makes this cut, take a look at the back line. Grayson Allen, he has no choice but to react to the cut, and that means you got Jaylen Brown lined up for a three in the corner. And it's all because Tatum took the extra dribble to make sure he engaged those backline guys. So you can do it as a facilitator. And then this one is where I thought the biggest shot of the game. This is when Milwaukee's making this run, and you take a look at this drive. Starts with a baseline drive here, and you're going to have to get a reaction out of Bobby Portis. Now, you got two guys on the weak side of the floor, and they're over here camped out and waiting for the Boston Celtics. You got two shooters. Now, you're going to have Wesley Matthews have to make a decision. When this ball is kicked out, he's the one guy left on the weak side, so that means he has to take first pass. Even though he's guarding Tatum, he has to get to the first three-point shooter that he sees. So what happens? Does it, rotates, one more swing. Now, Pat Connaughton was a little late getting there, and when he rotates over, his hands are down. By this time, Tatum is already cooking. So if you're Connaughton, that's got to be a dead sprint to make sure he puts it down. He doesn't quite do it. He's a little reluctant. Tatum rises up, makes, I think, the biggest shot of the game. It takes it from 5 to 8 at a time when it was just hanging in a balance, and you felt Giannis was about to do something special to kind of another ridiculous comeback. Tatum was having none of it. Spectacular. I talk about it all the time, pulling that seat up to the table of the superstars. He's right there, man. He's creeping in. He's making some room. Give me some elbow room, guys. I'm sliding my chair in here, and this is the kind of statement game that it takes.
Young man's 24, and I think he's quiet. He's not a roar kind of a guy, right? Like, that's not his thing, not a pound his chest sort of a dude. But I feel like the play you're seeing, it's he can't help but become that leader, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're seeing that, and he's not all they've got. Like, it's a complete squad, but it feels like he's not just with his play, but just in terms of follow me type of a behavior. You know, you feel the
absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying. I think if you took the entire season encapsulated, you'd have a hard time finding a better offensive performance than what Jason Tatum put on tonight. He looked so incredibly comfortable in this environment from the very beginning of the game. Now, it's going to take one more to get past this team, and this is going to come down to one possession game in the fourth quarter on Sunday.
Do you care to hazard a guess? I mean, it's a series where the road teams won 4 of the 6.
You know how this rolls, right? I picked the Bucks going in. I'm gonna hang with them. They're alive. It's 3-3.
Don't be that stubborn guy that says, if you've seen something that's gotten you off that, then say it.
I'm betting on Giannis.
All right.
That's what it comes down to. And it may sound silly to people in Boston, maybe to a lot of people because of their defense and the way Tatum's playing. But that man, I just have a lot of faith that he will be the guy that ultimately prevails in the fourth quarter.
He had 44 and 20 on
wasn't
Friday
the best
night.
Player on the court.
What enough.
That's
what
nuts.
a night, man. And we got more to come with Tim talking about the Golden State Warriors.